guys to this yet another session of Advanced Excel tutorial. Today we are going to try and cover a topic called as product database. We are going to do two versions of the product database, one which we are going to cover in this session today and one in the future videos. The second video will be covering a much detailed product database with respect to specifically supplier ID, chain management, shipping management, order management, category and inventory management. Those will be a two set of data wherein you might also require more than one sheet of data in that case, and we'll be covering a lot of topics along with that in that particular project. However, the session today that we are going to cover is a simple product database that we are going to try and manage in one single sheet. We are going to use this product database to create simple pivots and do some quantitative and qualitative analysis based on the data. It's going to cover around 30 to probably 25 to 30 columns. I'm not sure about the number. We'll try and figure out as we go and start ahead. So let's begin. I'm going to type in the names of the columns first. In this particular project, we are going to try and use the column reference method for calculating all the formulas. It's going to be easy. The formulas are not too complex. We are going to do a quick revision of the Vlookup, which we have done in the earlier sessions. Also, we are going to use some simple mathematical formulas to get what we want. So let's begin. So the first column that we want to add is called as the product ID. Remember, while putting in column names, we'll try and follow a nomenclature that is required. That means we will not be putting unnecessary spaces in the headers. Instead, we'll be using the database structure so that our Excel database can be imported into any other database like an SQL database or a MySQL database, for instance, and the same nomenclature is followed throughout. So let's start. Product ID is the first thing that we want to start off with. The next thing is product category. Then comes the product name. Then I'm going to go for the HSN number. I'll explain you what these columns are as we move along while populating the data itself. HSN number. Then we are going to put up the cost price of the product. So let's start with the cost price. You can use small syllables if you want. After the cost price, I'm going to add something called as the GST percentage. GST is the tax that we are going to put on top of the percentage. GST is further divided into CGST and SGST based on the state and the central government tax. However, we are not going to include the two bifurcations in this particular subject and this particular project. To be very precise, we are going to do that in the later projects while we are generating reports and creating invoices and inventory of the billings. So cost price, we have the GST percentage, and the next thing that we can add is something called as total cost price. The total cost price will be the sum of the GST percentage or the GST percentage tax calculated from the GST percentage plus the cost price. So the total cost price will give me that, and then comes the quantity you have purchased. Then comes the total revenue invested. Then comes something called as the margin percentage. We are also going to calculate the margin amount from the margin percentage. Based on the margin amount, I can calculate the selling price. On the selling price, an additional GST amount will be added before selling it to the user or the customer. So the GST on the selling price will be calculated here, and then finally comes the total selling price, or you can only simply name it as MRP or maximum retail price in this case, just for us to get a gist of what is going to happen in that column. We are going to add some other columns over here which are irrespective of the particular session of data or a particular product, we are going to manage these kind of products with respect to a particular location, or let's say in this case a go down from particular region sold by a salesperson and in the year/month. So that's it. We have almost all the columns that we wanted over here. We can add a little bit of more columns if required, and let's try and add those as well. I'm going to try and add some kind of a column where we try and calculate the amount of products that have been sold with respect to a particular product and the profit generated from those sold products. So what we need a column is what is the quantity of the products that is already sold. So I'm going to use a column called as quantity sold. Then cost price of quantity sold in this case. And selling, or I can simply put it SP of QTY sold. And finally comes profit/loss. There you go. We have almost all the columns that we have done in the simple product database. We'll try and put in some values and data, and let's begin. So the product ID is nothing but your SKU codes. The SKU codes are your barcodes that differentiate a product based on their categories and based on their types. So we are going to add around 100 or 150 products to be very precise. The simplest method I am using for making you understand, we are going to put in some definite, or you could say some demo data. Let's begin with SKU 2019 001 in this case. I'm just going to drag this till I get around 140 or 150 products, and there you go. We have around 150 products in this case. Next thing that we have introduced is something called as a product category, and let's start by putting insert product categories. The product category is with respect to the number of products that we are going to use in our particular database. The product category can be jumbled. For now, we are going to take around 4 to 5 category of products, wherein most of the products in our database will fall. So let's begin with that. The second column consists of product category. The product category, the first product category that I'm using is snacks and refreshments. The second product category is beverages. Third is something called as dry fruits. Fourth is masala packets. Then I'm using legumes and grains in this case. I'm going to select all these particular values and just simply drag it down so that they follow a custom pattern and all my data gets filled up. Now, before I proceed ahead to the product name or the HSN number, there's one thing that we need to do over here is first convert this entire database into a column referenced method table. That means we will be converting this entire select database into a table so that we can use the column reference method for accessing and putting in formulas. So for that, I'm going to click on the cell A1 and I'm going to use the shortcut key Control A. The moment I use the shortcut key Control A, my entire database gets selected till the last column from the first header that we already have in place. And from the home tab, now I'm going to access the format as table section. The format as table section, I'm going to click on any one of the table formats that can be accessed over here, and I'm going to click my table as headers. Make sure you put a checkbox to this particular option and then give an OK symbol, and there you go. You have converted your data into a product column referenced table. Next, we'll start up by adding the product names. For this, we are going to use a simple method, product 001 for now, and I'm going to simply drag my products down. Consider all of these different names or numbered products as different kinds of products based on different kinds of category we have in the category column. Now comes the column for the HSN number. The HSN number is determined and is given by the tax department, wherein each of the product category and the product inside that particular category is categorized under a particular set of HSN number. The HSN number is used to determine the tax applicable on that product category as well as on that particular product. So let's take up another sheet now, and we are going to use a simple Vlookup formula to put in all the HSN numbers of the respective products based on their product category. So let's try that out using the product category. So I'm going to use the product category column over here now. I'm going to copy all the 5 product categories that we had enlisted, and I'm going to copy it and paste it in the sheet 2. So we have the product category in the first column. Now this will be my reference column so that I can use my Vlookup formula. No doubt you can use your index match formula if required. However, we are going to try and use the Vlookup in this case. So in the second column, I'm going to put in the HSN number. The HSN number looks something like this: 2201, 2202, 4, 22056. It will be something of an irregular match. Doesn't need to be of a particular order or number. In this case, I'm just putting some random values so that you can understand what an HSN number is. So let's start with that. So I'm using the product category as a header, the HSN number here. I'm also going to put in the GST percentage over here and the margin percentage that we want for our particular table. The GST percentage says that snacks and refreshments under HSN number 2201 has an applicability of 18% of the GST. And the second product, it's 12%. Then again, the 12%. Then comes around 18%. And for legumes and grains, it's around 12% again. So we have determined the GST for legumes and grains to be 12%, for masala packets to be 18, for dry fruits to be 12, for beverages to be 12, and for snacks and refreshments to be 18%. I'm going to take in a constant margin of around, let's say, 15% for all the products. 15% margin I'm going to apply on the total cost price of these products so that I get my selling price on these products. For certain products like the dry fruits and beverages, the margin in real life is also applicable to be around 20 to 25 products. Let's say for a particular 2 categories, I'm going to increase the margin percentage, so to, let's say, 20%. In this case again 20%, and that's all I got to do. I'm going to name this entire table. If you remember, naming of a table we had done in the first video itself. I'm going to name this table. I'm going to select the entire data set. Remember, I'm not selecting the headers in this case, and I'm going to give it a name in this particular column. The name that I'm going to give is HSN GST margin. The name which we can easily remember in this case. The name is HSN GST margin. Don't forget to press an enter sign once you have given the name, and there you go. The naming of a particular column is done using this technique. I'm going to go back to the sheet. What I can do is, guys, for your reference, I can name the sheet as a master sheet or a master data sheet, so that we'll be using the master sheet for further such reference tables if required, and this will be the database. So I've renamed both the sheets into a database and my master sheet. Now all I got to do is use my database table. In my database table, I'm going to use the master sheet to fetch the values of my product category to calculate the HSN number in this case. So one single formula. Let's begin. The formula says equals to Vlookup bracket open. We are now going to look up at the product category, not at the product name. As you can see, I'm not getting a value like B2 over here. Instead, I'm going to get the column name in my formula. Now this helps me a lot. You'll understand once we finish off with typing this formula. The product category in this case is the column name of column B. That is going to help me basically apply formulas in a much easier manner than we have done in the earlier cases. So we look up product category, comma, we are going to look for this snacks and refreshment, that is the product category, in the master sheet, I believe. So what is the name of the table that we had given in the master sheet? It was HSN GST margin. So we are going to type the name of the table that we had created inside the master sheet, comma. In the master sheet, what was the column number of the product category and the HSN number? In the master sheet, the first column was your product category and the second column was your HSN number. Since we are typing the formula for the HSN number, I'm going to type in the column number of HSN number in the HSN GST margin table. So I'm going to type in 2 in this case, comma, and since we are going to match exactly with what we have in the product category table, I'm going to go with exact match in this case, close my bracket and hit enter. So there you go. All the values of the HSN numbers are populated. Remember, using the product and the column reference method helps me to identify mistakes in a formula in a particular column, because the column reference method makes sure that there is no irregular formulas in the entire column. It also ensures that once you type the formula in anywhere in one of the columns or cells, the entire column inside that particular table has the same formula. So that's going to help you a lot while rectifying mistakes with respect to such large databases where the data rectification is a huge task. So in this case, we're going to start with HSN number is done. So we're going to put in some cost price, and why not we use the same formula now and try and populate the formulas for the GST percentage as well as the margin percentage using the same VLOOKUP formulas. So let's begin with that, and then we can add the other variables like the cost price and the other formulas in other columns. So let's see the GST percentage. The same formula, we'll start with that. It's VLOOKUP, bracket open. I'm going to look again at the snacks and refreshment, that is the product category. Again, in the table HSN GST margin, now the column number of GST percentage is 3, and we are going to go with an exact match, that is false in this case. And there you go, we have got the GST percentage in this column. All we got to do is select the entire column and click on the percentage symbol inside the home tab in the number format section. So it immediately converts the decimals into a percentage by multiplying it by 100. Again, I'm going to use the same method for calculating the margin percentage. So equals to VLOOKUP bracket open. I'm going to select the product category, comma, look for it in the table HSN GST margin, comma, and the column number for the margin percentage is column number 4, and false for exact match. I'm going to select this entire column, click on the percentage symbol on the top, and there you go. We have populated 3 columns using one single formula, that is a VLOOKUP formula, to find out the percentage in all the 3 different columns. So let's just quickly look at what all we have covered till now. Initially, we started off by creating this product database. We have added around 20 columns using product ID, product category, product name, HSN number, the cost price, the GST percentage, the total cost price, the quantity purchased, the total revenue invested, the margin percentage, the margin amount, the selling price, the GST amount, the MRP, the go down, the region, the salesperson, the year, the quantity sold, cost price of quantity sold, the selling price of quantity sold, and profit and loss. Then we added around 100 SKUs for the product ID, and we added 5 product categories and then reused the same throughout the entire product chain. And then we added the product name column. We also used the column reference method. For that, we selected the column A1, selected the entire database, and then use the format as table option to convert the entire data set into a table. We used a new sheet to create a master data for the calculating the HSN, GST, and the margin percentage using the Vlookup formula. We selected it and gave it a name HSN GST margin, and we used it in the formula to calculate the HSN number, the GST percentage, as well as the margin percentage using the Vlookup formula. Only thing changed, that is the column number in the formula. Rest all parts of the formula remain the same. So that's it for the part 1 of this particular session. We'll be covering the formulas for the rest of the columns in the next video. Stay tuned. Do like and subscribe. Do press the bell icon and keep us motivated by giving good feedbacks in the comment section below. Ciao.